Let's have a look at this exam style question on evolution and variation. And we can see the question says the evolution of the modern horse is shown in figure 1, and you've got a diagram there showing how the Eohippus evolves into the modern horse over millions of years, and you also have a list of characteristics of each of those. And the question underneath says, suggest why the number of toes on the ground has changed in the horse species over the past 60 million years. And you've got 3 marks for that. So let's start by looking at the command word in the question. And the command word here is the word suggest. So this is an application question. So you might not have actually learnt about the evolution of a horse, and you might not have ever heard of an Eohippus. But don't worry, because this question is actually assessing your ability to apply your knowledge and understanding of evolution. So what important information does the question give us? Well, we're given the list of characteristics of the Eohippus compared to the modern horse. And we can see from the diagram that over the years, the Eohippus lost its 4 toes, and the modern horse only has 1 toe, what we also call a hoof. And the images also show us that the horse gets considerably larger over the years. And the teeth also change from short teeth for chewing soft leaves on shrubs and trees to having longer teeth for chewing tough grass. Now, the question is asking for you to suggest why the number of toes might have changed over the millions of years. So we need to be thinking about reasons why it might be an advantage to have a hoof or 1 toe rather than a number of toes. Now, the first clue to answering this question is actually in the information about the changes in diet, because it actually says here that the Eohippus had short teeth for chewing soft leaves on shrubs and trees, which suggests that it probably lived in forests, whereas the modern horse, it mentions here that it has long teeth for chewing tough blades of grass. And that makes sense because actually the modern horse will its natural habitat is grassland. So that makes sense to have that type of teeth. So the evidence suggests that the Eohippus and the modern horse lived in very different conditions. So it might have been that having fewer toes made it more efficient to move around. Now, remember, with evolution, organisms that inherit characteristics that are beneficial for their survival are more likely to survive and reproduce, and so they pass on their advantageous genes onto their offspring. And this is known as natural selection. And so this question is really testing your understanding of natural selection. So let's have a go at putting together an answer. So I'm going to say, over the years, the environment changed we know that from the information here about shrubs and trees to blades of grass. Okay, and having fewer toes meant it was better adapted and more likely to survive and reproduce. Now, there's likely to be 1 mark here for noting that the environment changed. 2nd mark for saying that having fewer toes meant it was better adapted. And then the final mark for linking that to the fact that therefore it's more likely to survive and reproduce and then pass on those genes to the future offspring. And that's your 3 marks.